The universe is approximately 13.8 billion years old. It contains hundreds of billions of galaxies. Each galaxy harbors hundreds of billions of stars. And around many of those stars, planets orbit. With such immense numbers, it would seem inevitable that other intelligent civilizations exist. However, so far, we have found no definitive proof. We have not received a confirmed message. We have not seen an alien spacecraft. We have not encountered an advanced civilization. There is only a vast, baffling silence. Why? Are we truly alone? Or is something far more unsettling happening in the universe? Over the last few decades, scientists, physicists, and cosmologists have proposed theories to answer some of the deepest questions of existence. Most are fascinating. But some are so disturbing that, if true, they would forever change our understanding of reality. Today, you will learn about some of the most terrifying scientific theories that could actually be real. These are not horror stories. They are not legends. They are hypotheses based on modern science. And although none have been fully proven, neither have they been ruled out. Let's start with one of the most unsettling theories of all. The Great Filter Theory. Imagine a civilization's evolution as an obstacle course. To become a species capable of exploring the galaxy, it must first overcome numerous stages. The origin of life. The emergence of complex organisms. Intelligence. Technology. Energy. And survival in the face of its own mistakes. The theory proposes that there is an obstacle that is extremely difficult to overcome. A filter so powerful that almost no civilization manages to get past it. That would explain why the universe seems so silent. But here is the terrifying part. We don't know where that filter lies. Perhaps we already passed it millions of years ago. Or maybe, it still awaits us. If the Great Filter lies ahead of us, it could mean that most civilizations end up destroying themselves before becoming interstellar species. Now imagine a forest, pitch black at night. There are hunters in that forest. Each one knows the others exist. But no one knows who is a friend. And who is an enemy. What would you do if you heard a noise among the trees? Would you call out a greeting? Or would you remain completely silent? The dark forest hypothesis proposes that the universe works exactly like that. Every civilization remains hidden because revealing its location could mean its destruction. If an advanced species detects another civilization, it might decide to eliminate it before it poses a future threat. Not out of malice, but simply for survival. That would mean the silence of the universe is no coincidence. It is a strategy. And perhaps we are already sending signals into the forest. Without knowing who might be listening. What if everything you know wasn't real? The simulation hypothesis proposes that our universe could be an extremely advanced simulation created by a far more developed civilization. Everything. Galaxies. History. Earth. You. Me. We would be part of a gigantic program. This idea gained popularity when some philosophers argued that a sufficiently advanced civilization could simulate entire universes. And if that were possible, the number of simulated universes could be far greater than that of real universes. Although there is no evidence to confirm it, there is also no definitive proof to rule it out, and the mere possibility is deeply unsettling. This theory involves no extraterrestrials. No artificial intelligence. No hidden dimensions. But it might be the most terrifying of all. The false vacuum theory suggests that the universe could be in a seemingly stable state that isn't actually stable. At any moment, a quantum transition could trigger a shift to a lower energy state. If that were to happen, a bubble of this new state would expand at the speed of light, destroying all the physical structure we know. Atoms. Stars. Planets. Galaxies. Everything would change. And we would never see it coming. Because it would travel at precisely the speed of light. There would be no warning. There would be no chance of escape. Black holes are among the most extreme objects in the universe. Their gravity is so intense that not even light can escape. But some physicists have explored a fascinating possibility. What if some black holes were connected to other regions of space or even to other universes? These theoretical connections, known as Einstein-Rosen bridges or wormholes, arise from the equations of general relativity. So far, there is no evidence that they can be kept stably open. However, if their existence were ever proven, the idea of traveling through space and time would change forever. Why don't we see extraterrestrials? Perhaps because they already see us. The zoo hypothesis proposes that far more advanced civilizations are aware of our existence. But they have decided not to intervene. They would be observing us just as we observe wild animals in a nature reserve. They would wait for our species to reach a certain technological or social level before making contact. If this were true, we could have been under observation for thousands or even millions of years without realizing it. Everything we see, planets, stars, people, oceans, represents only a small part of the universe. Astronomical observations indicate that most matter is invisible. We call this unknown substance dark matter. It emits no light. It reflects no light. We cannot see it directly. Yet, its gravity seems to hold galaxies together. Some researchers have even envisioned scenarios where structures or phenomena completely invisible to us might exist. Not because they are supernatural, but because they interact very little with ordinary matter. Imagine the most distant future possible. Billions, trillions, quadrillions of years. The stars begin to fade out. No new ones are born. Galaxies cool down. Usable energy runs out. Finally, the universe enters a state known as heat death. There would be no explosions. No spectacular catastrophes. Just absolute silence. A cold, dark cosmos, virtually devoid of activity. It is a slow end. But deeply unsettling. One of the most hotly debated theories today does not come from astronomy. It comes from technology. Many researchers are studying how to develop increasingly capable artificial intelligence. At the same time, they are also analyzing the risks posed by systems that might act in ways unforeseen by their creators. The concern is not that a machine might want to conquer the world, but rather that it could pursue goals incompatible with human interests if it is not properly aligned. That is why there is an extensive field of research dedicated to artificial intelligence safety and alignment. There is a less terrifying possibility, but one that is equally awe-inspiring. Perhaps the universe is still young. Maybe humanity is one of the first intelligent civilizations to emerge. If that were true, the Great Silence wouldn't mean that everyone has vanished, but rather that hardly anyone has arrived yet. That would make our species one of the pioneers of the cosmos, with an enormous responsibility. The more we observe the universe, the more mysterious it seems. We listen for signals. We discover exoplanets. We find complex molecules. But we still haven't answered the big question. Where is everyone? Each new observation expands our knowledge. And, at the same time, it also expands the scale of the mystery. Perhaps none of these theories is correct. Perhaps only one. Or perhaps reality is far stranger than our imaginations can conceive. The history of science has taught us a constant lesson. The universe always ends up surprising us. Each generation believed it understood almost everything. And each generation discovered that it was only just beginning. The most terrifying scientific theories do not seek to scare us. They seek to answer questions for which we do not yet have definitive answers. What happened before the universe? Do other civilizations exist? Are we truly alone? What will be the final fate of the cosmos? Each new answer opens up new questions. And perhaps that is the greatest mystery of all. That the more we learn, the more immense the universe seems. Which of these theories do you find most unsettling? The Great Filter? The Dark Forest? The Simulation? Or the False Vacuum? Tell us in the comments which one you think might be closest to reality, and why. And if you enjoy exploring the great mysteries of the universe, science, and the questions that still challenge humanity. Subscribe and join us on the next journey. Because the cosmos still holds secrets we are only just beginning to discover.